You may think trouble sleeping is just another part of growing older. That it's normal to lie awake at 3 a.m., staring at the ceiling, waiting for your body to do what it used to do so easily, just rest. Maybe someone told you melatonin is the simple solution. A harmless little pill that will reset your nights and give you back your peace. But here's something most seniors don't hear enough: after 60, melatonin is not always your friend. In fact, for many seniors, it can quietly become a health risk. You've probably seen it in every pharmacy aisle: natural, safe, over the counter. But what if that safe label doesn't apply to your body anymore? What if taking melatonin after 60 without the right knowledge is doing more harm than good? Today we're going to talk about the truth behind melatonin and aging. What it really does in your body after 60, how it can help when it starts hurting, and why some seniors experience more brain fog, imbalance, and even emotional decline after using it regularly. This is a message for anyone who wants better sleep, clearer mornings, and safer aging. Because understanding melatonin could be the key to reclaiming your energy, memory, and quality of life. But before we begin, if you care about elderly reflections, real-life life lessons from the elderly, and the senior health questions no one else wants to answer, take a moment to like this video and subscribe. It tells us you're listening. And it helps this message reach more seniors who need it. Where are you watching from? By the way, drop it in the comments, we'd love to hear. Now let's get into it. There's a man named Philip. He's 73. Lives in a quiet town in upstate New York. Worked in finance for decades, retired early, took care of himself. Walked every morning, ate well, read books before bed. But about a year ago, something changed. He started waking up at 2 or 3 a.m., unable to go back to sleep. He wasn't anxious. He wasn't in pain. Just awake. So he did what most seniors do. He bought a bottle of melatonin. 3 milligrams, nothing strong. The first few nights, he slept like a rock. But then something odd happened. During the day, he felt off. Slower. Foggy. Like his brain was stuck in slow motion. His balance felt weird. He tripped walking down his porch steps, something he'd never done. And his mood started to drop. His doctor asked him, "Are you taking anything new?" And when Philip said, "Just melatonin," the doctor nodded and said, "That might be the problem." You see, melatonin isn't just a sleep supplement. It's a hormone. And in seniors, whose bodies process medication differently, that hormone can linger far longer than intended. Melatonin is produced naturally by your brain, in response to darkness. It tells your body, it's time to rest. But after 60, your body's ability to clear melatonin from your system slows down. So while a young adult might feel fine 8 hours after a dose, a senior might still be processing that same dose the next afternoon. And this is where it gets dangerous. Studies from Harvard Medical School and the University of Toronto have shown that seniors using higher doses of melatonin are more likely to report daytime drowsiness, increased risk of falls, memory fog and confusion, depressive symptoms. And the worst part? Most of them don't connect it back to the supplement. They think they're just getting older. But what if it's not age? What if it's what's in that little bottle on your nightstand? Let's take another example, Margie. She's 68, lives in Arizona, healthy, active, but started having trouble falling asleep after her husband passed. She turned to melatonin, just 5 milligrams. The sleep came, but so did the nightmares. Vivid, disturbing dreams, followed by morning fatigue and random dizziness. When she finally stopped taking melatonin, those symptoms vanished. This doesn't mean melatonin is always bad. But it means that after 60, you need to be cautious. Very cautious. Because senior health is delicate. And what works for a 30-year-old may quietly hurt someone over 65. In Europe, the recommended dose of melatonin is often 0.3 to 1 milligram. But in the US, many over-the-counter pills are 3, 5, even 10 milligrams. That's 10 times the dose some doctors believe is safe for older adults. So what can you do instead? Before turning to pills, even natural ones, look at your sleep hygiene. Are you turning off screens an hour before bed? Are you getting enough morning sunlight to reset your circadian rhythm? Do you go to bed and wake up at the same time each day, even weekends? Elderly wisdom reminds us. The body doesn't stop needing rhythm just because we stop working. Routine is still your best medicine. And if you do use melatonin, talk to your doctor. Ask about microdosing, 0.3 milligrams instead of 3. Try it no more than 2-3 times a week, not every night. And always track how you feel the next day. Because this isn't just about sleep. It's about how you move, how you think, how you live. Your nights affect your days. And inspiration after 60 begins with clarity, energy, and safety. Melatonin may help. Or it may quietly hold you back. But now you know the truth. You have the power to decide what your body truly needs. Now let's look deeper, because melatonin isn't just about sleep anymore. It's also about how your body changes with age, and how certain natural systems begin to shift in ways you may not even notice. One of the biggest mistakes people over 60 make is assuming that melatonin is like a vitamin, safe, easy, harmless. But that's not how hormones work. Melatonin is tightly connected to your body's internal clock. When that rhythm breaks, everything starts to shift. Your memory, your appetite, your blood pressure, even your risk of dementia. And here's what most seniors don't know. Your body already produces less melatonin naturally after 60. But that's not necessarily a problem. It's an adaptation. The elderly body doesn't need to be flooded with melatonin like a teenager's. It needs balance. That's the real wisdom. Overdoing melatonin can suppress your own production even more. So when you take it regularly, your brain may stop producing it naturally because it thinks, I don't need to anymore. That's how a helpful hormone becomes a silent trap. Let me tell you about Ron. He's 66. After retiring, he found it hard to fall asleep without watching the news. Then the news started keeping him up, so he took melatonin every night. 6 months later, he couldn't sleep without it. Not even for a nap. His natural rhythm was gone. His body had forgotten how to rest on its own. That's why doctors now say, melatonin should be used like a match, not a fire. Just enough to light the signal, not to burn through your system. And here's where things get more serious. In people over 65, melatonin can affect blood pressure. It lowers it, sometimes too much. If you already take medication for high blood pressure, adding melatonin may cause dizziness, sudden drops, and even fainting. Especially at night or when standing up too fast. This is called orthostatic hypotension, and for seniors, it's one of the leading causes of nighttime falls. A study published in the Journal of the American Geriatric Society found that seniors taking more than 2 milligrams of melatonin were more likely to report nighttime disorientation and unsteadiness, especially if they lived alone. That's not just a sleep issue. That's a safety issue. Because if you fall at 70, the recovery is not the same as at 40. A broken hip can steal years from your life. Even your independence. So yes, melatonin may be natural. But it must be treated with the same caution as any medication. Now let's talk about your brain. You know that foggy feeling you get in the morning sometimes? The one where words take longer to find and names sit just out of reach? That's not always just aging. It can be a sign that your body hasn't finished metabolizing melatonin. Especially if you took it the night before. Melatonin affects GABA, an important neurotransmitter that slows brain activity, to help you rest. But in the wrong dose, or taken too late, it can overshoot, causing mental dullness well into the next day. And if you already have mild cognitive decline, it can make things feel worse. Here's something you need to know. In 2022, researchers in Switzerland found that seniors who used melatonin daily for more than 3 months showed reduced cognitive processing speeds. They weren't losing memories, they were slowing down their brain's ability to recall them. That's a big deal. Because once you start feeling confused, uncertain, or forgetful, the fear sets in. And nothing affects mental health faster than fear. Seniors who struggle with sleep often also struggle with mood. Melatonin may improve sleep short-term, but for some, it worsens depression. That's because it affects serotonin pathways, too. If you're already on an antidepressant, adding melatonin could amplify side effects like sadness, withdrawal, or even agitation. None of this means melatonin is bad. It just means you need to understand your body better. What helps one senior may harm another. This is what elderly wisdom is about, not avoiding help, but using it with intention. So here are 3 signs melatonin may be doing more harm than good. 1. You feel groggy the next day, even after 8 hours of sleep. 2. You've noticed more balance issues or dizziness in the morning. 3. Your memory feels slower, or your mood feels lower. If that sounds familiar, it's time to step back. To reassess. Because your body is trying to tell you something. And you've earned the right to listen. You deserve a sleep routine that honors your age, your rhythm, and your safety. Let's talk about what to do instead. Because for every senior who's reached for a bottle of melatonin out of desperation, there's another way, safer, smarter, more aligned with the natural rhythms of your body. First, let's talk light. The single most powerful tool to regulate melatonin in your body isn't a pill. It's sunlight. Getting 20-30 minutes of natural light before 10 a.m. has been shown in multiple studies to reset your circadian rhythm, helping your body know when it's time to wake and when it's time to sleep. A 2020 Stanford study found that seniors who spent more time in morning sunlight reported deeper sleep, fewer nighttime wakings, and more energy throughout the day. And here's the best part, it's free. So tomorrow morning, step outside. Feel the light on your skin. Let your eyes soak in the brightness. It may seem small, but it's a life lesson the elderly often forget. Nature still knows how to heal. Next, let's talk temperature. Did you know your body needs to cool down before sleep? That's why warm baths before bed work, not because they make you hot, but because when you step out, your body temperature drops. And that signals melatonin production naturally. So if you want to fall asleep faster, take a warm shower an hour before bed. Keep your bedroom cool, around 65 degrees Fahrenheit or 18 degrees Celsius. And wear light, breathable clothing. Then, turn to your evening routine. Your brain loves routine. And in your senior years, it needs it more than ever. Pick a bedtime, and stick to it. Even on weekends. Avoid screens an hour before sleep. No phones, no TV in bed. Blue light confuses your brain, it thinks it's daytime. Instead, read. Listen to soft music. Do some gentle breathing exercises. A 10-minute stretch. A prayer. A gratitude list. These small habits tell your body it's time to rest. One of the most powerful sleep routines came from a 79-year-old widow named Elaine. Every night, she writes down 3 small joys from the day: a bird she saw outside, a call from her sister, a funny moment with her neighbor. She says it helps her mind close the day with peace. And peace, as we age, becomes more important than sleep itself. If after all this, you still need help, consider other natural supports. Magnesium glycinate. Chamomile tea. Valerian root in small doses. But remember, always check with your doctor. Even natural remedies have powerful effects in an older body. If you do choose melatonin, use it as a last resort, not a daily crutch. Start low, 0.3 milligrams or 1 milligram. Use it sparingly, maybe once or twice a week, not every night. And pay attention. Not just to your sleep, but to your days. Your balance. Your memory. Your mood. Because these are the signs your body gives you. Tiny whispers of what's working and what's not. Elderly reflections remind us. True health isn't about one miracle pill. It's about listening, adjusting, and honoring the body you've lived in for over 6 decades. So is melatonin a friend or foe? That depends. If you use it with wisdom, respecting your age, your system, your rhythm, it can be a gentle ally. But if you rely on it without understanding the consequences, it may quietly steal more than it gives. Now that you know the truth, the choice is yours. You deserve peaceful nights, clear mornings, and a body that still feels like home. Sleep well. Live strong. You've earned both. If this video helped you understand melatonin in a new light, please like and subscribe to the channel. Tell us in the comments, what's helped you sleep better after 60? And most of all, where are you watching from? We'd love to know. Here's to rest, rhythm, and the life lessons from the elderly, the kind that only come after 60. And stay with you, forever.